Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. Just uploaded a video about Russell Wilson, and in that video, if you watched it, I talked about what Aaron Rodgers did this past weekend and the ongoing relationship with the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. Well, right after I finished that video, it was announced that Aaron Rodgers re-signed with the Packers, and I want to bring this together because I also learned something new about the death of Russell Wilson's father, June 9th, 2010, one day after he was drafted by the Colorado Rockies in baseball. And again, the Colorado Rockies made it to the 103rd World Series. This will be the 103rd NFL season coming up, but I did not realize that Russell Wilson's dad had died in history one day after he was drafted into Major League Baseball. The Colorado Rockies, who play in Denver, where now he's going to be a Denver Bronco, the same team he beat in Super Bowl 48 with the Seahawks, who he just got traded from. So if you watched the last video, some of this will be redundant, but there's definitely some new information here. I'm going to show what his father's death had to do with his last season at Wisconsin, where Russell Wilson played college football, like how the Packers are in, of course, Wisconsin. His dad died 191 days from his birthday, and then he had a 191 rating as a quarterback, which is off the charts at Wisconsin. We'll get to it in just a moment. But notice, again, March 8th, the date can be written 3-8 or 8-3. We've educated about for years. I mean, just everything that I've educated about for years just comes together in so many ways in this ritual. I've always talked about the relationship with the Seahawks and the Packers, always making moves together. Russell Wilson and the Packers, him playing at Wisconsin, and then Colorado in 38. And again, I know a lot of people don't like gambling, but if you're ever going to be a gambler, just look into when teams can pick up their 38th win or 38th loss against Colorado sports teams. It happens almost every time. It's like the best betting trick with Gematria knowledge. But anyway, here we are on 3-8, exactly 38 weeks from Russell Wilson's upcoming birthday. Colorado's the 38th state. The Seahawks won their only Super Bowl in their 38th season over the team from Colorado. But as you can see, Colorado and football have a lot in common in Gematria. Russell has the Gematria of 83, like Colorado, like football, like how today can be written 8-3. Again, they say the best QB draft class ever was 83, with the top of that class being John Elway, who now runs the Denver Broncos franchise, who, of course, was a quarterback great in the NFL, in the rigged NFL historical terms, considered one of the league's best quarterbacks. But again, NFL fans will never really know who were the best players ever in the league because it's all scripted. It's more like who was willing to sacrifice the most people in their family to have the legacy they did. Friends, family. But here's Russell Wilson, again, exactly 38 weeks before his birthday on 3-8, going to the 38th state. And as we talked about in the last stream, but now I have more to connect to it, Seattle, Washington, 68-94, Denver, 68-94. And because I put this out there, somebody went and did some research and found that Russell Wilson was drafted to the Colorado Rockies June 8th, 6-8, 2010. 6-8, you know? And again, here's Russell Wilson's quote from 2010. He says, I ended up getting drafted by the Colorado Rockies on June 8th, 2010, and the next day my dad passed away, June 9th, 2010. So I'm at the biggest high of my life on June 8th, and the next day, June 9th, he's gone. And again, I mean, the world of sports and entertainment is just full of so many coincidental deaths. And I still remember the NBA draft 2-3 years back. They were giving out every player drafted in the league in the first round, and it was nearly all of them like a necklace to wear with a picture of the family member or the multiple family members that had died. It's like, how weird is that? The NBA is giving one of these to almost every player because almost every single one's lost either their mom or their dad or their sibling. I mean, these guys are 18, 19, 20 years old. Most people haven't lost a family member by that age. But in the world of sports, they have. And, you know, anyway, Russell Wilson, drafted by the Colorado Rockies once upon a time, 6'8", ends up playing his NFL career with Seattle, Washington. We've talked about the relationship with these cities and so many things, including 9/11, where 68 and 94 are huge numbers. And again, the construction firm that built the World Trade Centers from Seattle, Washington, just like Boeing, where the planes supposedly flew into the building. And then NORAD in Denver, or in Colorado. But again, these numbers connect in so many ways, and here they come together yet again. The connected cities, the cities that met in the Up in Smoke Bowl, Super Bowl 48, after Colorado and Washington State were the first two states to legalize marijuana. Kind of reminds me of the Up in Smoke tour with all the rappers that just performed at Super Bowl 56. That could be a coincidence. But don't forget, Russell Wilson's grandfather died at age 94. And again, it was the 94th NFL season where the Seahawks beat the Broncos in Super Bowl 48. And Seahawks equals 48. Run it the other way. Seattle Seahawks 43. Colorado 43. The score was 43-8 in favor of the Seahawks. Difference of 35 points. Big football number. But 94th NFL season, 38th year for the Seahawks. Russell Wilson beats the Broncos. Now he goes to the Broncos by the same numbers. And notice his last season with Seattle, Russell Wilson, he went 6-8. His first losing season as the starting quarterback, 6-8, like 68. Now he's on to the other 68 city. And again, today's the 67th day of the year, which is the 19th prime. Seattle has that 19 connection. Again, Russell Wilson from Cincinnati, who just lost in the Super Bowl. And he was sitting next to the commissioner during the Super Bowl. Originally from Cincinnati as Russell Wilson. And again, Broncos, there's two teams in the NFL that have a connection to 103 through their names. It's the Broncos and the Steelers. They both equal 103. This will be the 103rd NFL season. Again, the Colorado Rockies were in the 103rd World Series. Russell Wilson, again, drafted by the Colorado Rockies while he was still in college playing football. And again, all part of the script. These guys' lives are scripted. That was a ritual back then on that date for his planned NFL career, no doubt about it. Some of these guys end up playing in both leagues. Deion Sanders types, Bo Jackson types. But as we talked about earlier, Nathaniel Hackett, the new coach of the Broncos, he'll turn 43 his first season in the NFL. Again, Colorado's 43, football's 43, Seattle Seahawks 43. He'll do that on December 19th, which is a span of 41 weeks from today. That's the Super Bowl number. Super Bowl equals 41. Green Bay also equals 41 since they're re-signing Rodgers on this day. And again, Russell Wilson played in Wisconsin for his college ball. And again, as we talked about with Pete Carroll, this move comes 191 days before Pete Carroll's upcoming birthday, 174 days after his last birthday. In a moment, we'll get to how Russell Wilson was drafted 174 days after, or actually it was 191 days after his last birthday and 174 days before his upcoming birthday, right before his father's death. But again, Russell Wilson played in exactly 174 games with the Seahawks, 158 in the regular season, 16 in the playoffs for a total of 174. And again, that number connects to number of the beast, which is 666. Seattle's known for the beast quake. And again, Russell Wilson, this stat from September 22nd, 2019, against the Saints, where the Beastquake happened against the Saints, Catholic, Beastquake. Anyway, they put up the stat right away when he scored that touchdown. Again, November 26, 2017, his last rushing touchdown, to the day he got the one where they put up the stat, exactly 666 days. And you have to understand, this was right after they showed a highlight of years before where it was a Seahawks-Saints game, and the Beast Quake happened, which they say is one of the NFL's greatest moments. And again, Beast equals 47, like Seattle's on the 47th parallel, like the NFL was established, or the first Super Bowl season was in the 47th season of the NFL. Again, it's all about the Beast. That's what this is about. I mean, all this ritual sacrifice, all these rigged games, all these pretenders and liars and agents. I mean, just complete frauds like Russell Wilson, who always goes on the TV smiley, dressed in his, $1,000 T-shirts and whatnot, talking about how he does it all for the kids and Jesus. Too bad your dad's not here to see it, or your grandpa. But anyway, but with regards to it being 38 weeks from Russell Wilson's upcoming birthday, it's also exactly 266 days from his upcoming birthday. And Pope Francis is the 266th Pope. Again, it's the Jesuits who are behind all of this, and he's the first Jesuit Pope. As we talked about, the Super Bowl was perfectly synced with the Pope this year. And If you write out Russell Wilson, it has Gematria of 81. This move today comes 81 days after Russell Wilson's birthday. And again, he's Mr. 666. Don't forget when Kobe scored he didn't score 666 points. He scored 81 points in his 666th game. And if you write out Mark of the Beast and Kobe Bean Bryant, they both equal 81. So now today, 81 days after the Pope's birthday, Russell Wilson 81, and another beast-related ritual. And again, the Pope's 85 right now. National Football League, Jesus Hominum Salvator, both 85. Jesus Hominum Salvator is also 266, like he's the 266th Pope. But again, the Rams just won the Super Bowl in their 85th season, scoring the winning touchdown with 85 seconds left after giving Brady his 85th career loss and then his retirement. For more 38, Adonis says Broncos have won 3 out of 8 Super Bowls. Perfect, exactly. Jacob gave me the detail on the June 8th, 2010 pick. And with regards to him being the 140th pick, remember what happened on Washington's birthday the other year. This is why you got to know Gematria forwards and backwards. I believe it was November 11th, 2019. Let me see if I got the date right. November 11th, 2019, box score Seahawks. Should have been Seahawks 49ers if I got the right year. I do. Okay. So this game paid 3.5 to 1. If you bet $100 on the Seahawks, they were actually big underdogs in this game. Even though that they were evenly matched, just the 49ers were at home. I think the Seahawks were missing somebody. But it was actually a big payout on this game if the Seahawks upset. This game was on Washington State's birthday, November 11th, and Washington is 130 forwards, 140 in reverse. Pete Carroll got his 140th total win, if you count the playoffs, and he got his 130th regular season win in that game. 130, 140 on Washington's birthday. Again, Gematria, forwards and backwards. You know these ciphers, you know the rituals. Knowing the 49 and 50 helped us see that the Nationals would beat the Astros in Game 7 of the World Series before they even clinched the playoffs. So again, for people who think that these 4 ciphers up there means you can just get anything to equal anything, just hit the exit door. You don't have enough IQ points to be here. This is the code they use every single day to script sports, undeniably. And Bobby says, Russ, like the abbreviation of Russia, Russell Wilson. Good point. Good point. Absolutely. And it's just like Alec Baldwin shot the Ukrainian woman 201 days after his birthday before the big military operations in Ukraine with the 201 ritual. Huge numbers with the Jesuits. Speaking of 201, Aaron Charles Rodgers 201 from that very Jesuit Bay area. But what are the odds that right after I get done doing the Russell Wilson video, next thing you know, Aaron Rodgers is signed with the Packers? And I'm just talking about how this past weekend he officiated the wedding for a Packers teammate who played at the University of Colorado on his 94th day of his age, Denver 94. And I thought there was a chance that Rodgers would end up going to Colorado. I kind of wish he would have. But now that he stayed with the Packers, and I'm thinking, okay, Russell Wilson makes the move to the Broncos. These guys are playing the opposite conferences now. This right here, I still got to do my homework for the season above, but this is my first clue at what the Super Bowl could be. Could it be 2 Wisconsin quarterbacks against each other? The Bucs just won the finals after the Rittenhouse thing. Hank Aaron started out in Wisconsin. Just all these themes that are going right now. Aaron Rodgers versus the former Seahawks quarterback who played at Wisconsin. Again, Aaron Rodgers got his 103rd regular season win over the Denver Broncos. This will be the 103rd NFL season. Rodgers equals 103. State Farm equals 103. Broncos 103. The only other team that equals 103 is the Steelers, and they don't look like they're going to be the team as of right now. But again, the Rockies were in the 103rd World Series. Russell Wilson goes to the Denver Broncos. By the way, Colorado Rockies equals 163, which is the 38th prime for another 38. And Aaron Rodgers re-signs while he's 38 years old on 3/8 on the day of this ritual. The 2007 World Series with Denver in it, Colorado, ended on October 28th, 10 plus 28, 38. Boston beat the Rockies. And, again, look. Russell Wilson's birthday is November 29th. When his dad died, it was 174 days before his birthday. Just think about that. And then he goes on to have a professional career with the Seahawks, makes hundreds of millions of dollars, wins a Super Bowl, and plays in exactly 174 games with the franchise. Seattle, Washington, 68. Denver, Colorado, 68. Drafted by Denver, plays for Seattle, plays 174 games, then ends up in Colorado as a veteran. Again, scripted careers. The same things we continue to show. Sometimes you find these big rituals that happen in these people's past, and you see how it connects with exactly what played out after, just like this. I mean, we've seen things like this a million times. And then again, it's also 191 days from his last birthday when he signed with Colorado. 191's the 40th, or didn't sign but got drafted by. 191's the 43rd prime. Colorado 43, football 43, Seattle Seahawks 43, who beat the Broncos with 43 points. And again, I mean, when the Seahawks Super Bowl happened, I didn't know reverse gematria. I only knew the two ciphers, so I was showing the significance of the Seahawks winning with 43. But then when we learned reverse, I said, oh, look at what we were missing out on this whole time. Seahawks 48, Seattle, Washington in that cipher is 94. They win Super Bowl 48 in the 94 season over Denver, which I also couldn't see the 94 back then. Again, that's how you know that the reverse is the other half of the code. There's just so many examples like that. But 191 days after his last birthday, as we know, it's the Jesuits, Society of Jesus, 191. Russell Wilson equals Jesuit order. And notice his last season at Wisconsin, before getting drafted by the Seahawks, his rating was 191. I mean, that's off the charts kind of rating. 191. His senior year. So, yeah, I mean, just like I've been saying over and over, Seahawks and Packers, rituals with those two teams all the time. Colorado, 38. Russell Wilson, star athletes, sacrifices around them, rituals in connection to the sacrifice. I mean, these observations, Russia, the Ukrainian woman shot by Alec Baldwin on the set of Rust, the Western nations against Russia. Anyway. I think those were all the details I wanted to hit, but Russell Wilson, another big Jesus guy. Remember Society of Jesus 191? Dad dead in the 191 ritual. Now synced up with old Pete Carroll 191. Again, you guys, same people that sell you the lies on the news, the lies with the politics, lies with the sports games, they sell you the lies with Jesus. And that's all it takes to fool most people, because they've been tricked into just believing in that kind of crap since they were 2 years old or younger. You know, it's easy to play with people. Just exploit them where they've been exploited from birth. And that's what's happening in America. People idolizing these people, believing in false religions, believing in false governments, believing in false news, just believing, period. And not noticing that the word lie is right in the middle. And it's so easy to see how it all comes together. I got to be honest, it makes me happy to see that since I was a young boy, I've been able to see through all this. Sports were obviously rigged. Religion was obviously bullshit. Nothing made sense on the news. I don't know what takes people so long to figure it out, but again, had I not started seeing it early, probably would have never figured all this out. So, what I can't believe is all these years I didn't realize Russell Wilson, his dad died the day after he was drafted into Major League Baseball. And isn't it funny how they do it? It just shows how it's all synced up. The college, the pro, all the sports, just like I've been saying. It's all perfectly planned and coordinated. It's all about dates, numbers, gematria. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Till next time, Truth Seeker.